We learn more now about his fascinating story in Heroes Among Us, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union.
We've got bright and sunny skies this morning here in New York City. It's a pleasant 65 degrees for your morning commute, and we'll be topping off right around 78 later this afternoon.
The skies were crystal clear. New Yorkers made special note of that morning because the skies in New York are rarely as clear as they were on September 11th, 2001. And I made note of the clarity that day when I got off the subway and walked the final couple of blocks to the World Trade Center. The sky, the azure blue, was just magnificent.
September 11th was a day that Erik Ronningen had looked forward to for 5 years. In his book, From the Inside Out, Erik detailed the catastrophic events of his day.
My office was on the south side, so I had windows overlooking New York Harbor. It was a joy to me to watch the tugboats and the watercraft and the tourist boats going out to Ellis Island. So I took a few moments just to enjoy the view.
As he awaited the arrival of his new boss on the 71st floor, a sudden and deafening impact from Flight 11, just 20 stories above, shook him to the core.
Without warning, that tower, it was as if a giant took a roundhouse swing and smacked that tower on the north face, and that tower twisted and turned and bent south, turned north, twisting south, and then settled.
Erik's descent through the stairs was exhausting. Still not aware of the full extent of the damage,
I didn't run into any of the first responders until I got into the upper teen floors. We're crammed into those small, narrow stairwells going down. Those firemen, all in bunker gear and their oxygen tanks, and already they're perspiring. All the employees were patting them and giving them water and encouraging them to do what they were going to do. It took me a little over an hour to get down the stairs. And the debris was just indescribable. Of paper, cardboard, furniture, stuff was just floating down. So I said to myself, I can't get into the basement to help, but I can help some of those folks that I've seen on the pavement. I'm now marching. Just as I'm about to turn right to go into the plaza, to go between the towers, a little voice in my head said, walk east. Quiet little voice. There was no question but to do exactly what that voice said.
That divine intervention, plus Erik's training in the Army, allowed him to make a harrowing escape of the avalanche. It wasn't until he finally got in front of a television that afternoon that the catastrophic events of that day fully began to sink in.
And my friends took me in, and they plopped me down in front of their television. I couldn't take my eyes off of that television. We didn't realize the scope of what had taken place. It was as if we were watching a disaster movie.
Unlike the rest of the world, Erik had experienced the devastation firsthand and suffered the same symptoms of PTSD that has plagued our soldiers on the battlefield.
I was bound and determined from the first day that I would not let the circumstances of September 11th control me. And I worked at that. It took me a number of years to get through that.
Thousands of heroes were born on 9/11, and it brought our country together in a way never before seen. America's darkest hour also produced some of its finest moments.